even though his Longhorns got knocked out of the College World Series. What up, box
Wow.
office?
Yeah, well, I ain't worried about that sport. Um, I'm here to talk about sports that I actually watch, that I actually watch more than anybody, because I'm box office, and y'all about to get smacked around like every week.
I mean, the only sport that is soccer. I'll give you credit for that. I mean, okay.
Also, X, you can't be the sports junkie. You don't watch the biggest sport in the world. Come on, man. I know Bob is the biggest food in the world.
Where I'm from.
Huh?
Where I'm from.
What's that? You're from Lane, Louisiana.
The biggest sport in the
and nonprofit
Is more
I have grown to like.
And yeah, man.
It was a domination.
league, and they
Didn't say PSG.
Yes, she definitely favorites, man.
that last
they probably had the best.
I'm actually very clever because curse, man. I truly believe in the Madden curse. The Madden curse does exist. It does happen. We've seen it with numerous of players that I just mentioned right now. And you know, I don't wish anything bad like an injury on Saquon or anything, but you know, just because I'm a Cowboys fan, um, you know, I feel like the curse does happen. You know, maybe he'll have maybe the Eagles will choke. Maybe the Eagles will struggle this season. Maybe they'll get eliminated in the playoffs. Who knows? I mean, a lot of those things I do possibly see happening, and yes, I do believe in the Madden curse. I do believe that Saquon Barkley do deserve to be on it. I think that he had the most iconic play, best play that in the 2024 season. Um, you know, some people would make an argument for other players, like you know, somebody like like a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson, but I think Saquon definitely deserved it. You know, obviously he won the Super Bowl. You know, record-setting year as a running back, also one of the best seasons as a running back that I've seen in quite some time, and he got a new deal also. So yeah, definitely shout out to Saquon, and he definitely deserved to be on the Madden cover. But go ahead, X.
Am I good? Am I good?
Yeah, you're better. Yeah, better now.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know, bro. My son be playing my phone and he be messing it up. But yeah, I'm definitely cool with this, man. The Kelly Green jersey is fire. The play was fire, and I'm big on if you win the Super Bowl. I said it with the college football game. If you win, then for sure we should choose somebody from that team to represent the cover. So I have no problem with them choosing Saquon Barkley. Shout out to Saquon Barkley too. He helped me win, you know, my fantasy league in Cupid's league, man, the Kings league. So you know,
yeah,
and see,
man.
funny thing is, see, I'm actually not keeping him, but it ain't because of the Madden curse. Because I got that young gunner Jameer Gibbs, and I'm not giving him back, baby. Woo!
I told you about him.
On the market.
Hey man, hey, y'all can have Saquon. I'm keeping Jameer Gibbs and Jamar Chase. Oh my God, that's nasty.
Yeah, man. I'm not going over 75 for him.
Well,
I won't get him.
Well, this ain't the Kings League. This is the NBS platform.
I won that too, baby. I won that too.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
You did. You know, the only reason you didn't win it because Yvonne didn't play that last year.
Yvonne was never good at fantasy.
God, bro.
Wait. You know, his brother did make it to the championship game.
His brother is always pretty good in the league. I'm not gonna cap. Like Antonio, he's really good in fantasy, but I mean, he's not me.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my boy Antonio.
Oh, by the way, NBS Stardom Sidham show coming really soon, baby. Woo.
For sure.
But with that being said, let's move on over to our very next topic for tonight, man. And we're going straight to the NBA Finals, man. Congratulations to Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. They were squaring off in the finals. So basically what I wanted to discuss today. So the betting odds and the favorites is out. So OKC is a heavy favorite going into the series. They are one of the biggest favorites in NBA Finals history since 1968. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, with the Thunder being the heavy favorite, do you feel like Indiana's being disrespected right now, or do you think OKC should be the heavy favorites going to the finals?
Indiana's not being disrespected. OKC almost had 70 wins. They were the best team all year. They're deep as hell. That's why I believe they were going to get to the finals. They've just been the best team all year. So this was not a surprise to me at all. Not to mention they have home court. They also have the MVP now. So I think that this, this preview of the finals in terms of the odds is completely fine and completely fair. I think if the Pacers actually won this series, I think people will be shocked. Oklahoma City also has been off for a week. They've been chilling. They're ready. They've been at home. They don't have to travel for game 1 and 2. So no, this is no surprise, and honestly, it's just right.
What's the spread?
Game 1, they're at near almost a 10-point favorite going to game 1 right now.
I do feel like Indiana's being disrespected, and yes, OKC has had the best season overall, but Indiana since the All-Star break has had the best record in the league, and they played stiff competition in the road to the finals. I don't believe they were favored in any series, and they dominated each series that they played in. And I know I didn't give them a chance to get to the finals. I don't know about. I don't think anybody else picked them either. But I believe they got stronger as the playoffs went on. So I'm impressed. I'm still going with OKC, but I'm impressed just to see them there. And shout out to Halliburton. It was hilarious how he thought he was going to win that MVP. And and they called Siakam. That was hilarious, man. That should have been a topic. But go ahead.
No, I think it's disrespectful. I do think it's I think it's disrespectful because you can be the favorite, but to be the biggest favorite, what you say, Keo?
In NBA Finals history since
That's crazy.
1968.
Come on, man. We had Golden State with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. I don't give a damn they were playing LeBron. I knew they were gonna win that series. That was when that team was playing. We had Shaq and Kobe in 2001 playing against teams like the Nets and the Sixers, and you knew who was gonna win those series. You had Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. This is not the biggest. This shouldn't be the biggest one-sided as far as Vegas odds to win the finals. I'm not sitting there saying that OKC shouldn't be the favorite because I'm okay with that. But to sit here and act like I disagree with box office on this. If Indiana wins the series, I wouldn't be shocked. Indiana, like C said, Indiana beat Milwaukee the first round, didn't go 7 games. They beat Cleveland, the number 1 seed, didn't go 7 games. And then they beat New York, didn't go 7 games. They were the 3 seed. If Indy wins this series, it would not be shocking to me because I think Indy is built for this, and Rick Carlisle's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, man. I think the favorites and the lines, it should be right where they are at. Obviously, I did not have OKC going to the NBA Finals. I think only one person on here did pick OKC to go. A lot of the experts expected OKC as one of the favorites going into the finals. Nobody expected Indiana to go there, especially when we seen what Boston did the previous year, because everybody, and including their mom, was picking Boston to go to the NBA Finals. I didn't. There wasn't one person that I could think of that did not have Boston going. So nobody expected Indiana. They were there as like a 4 seed. They went through a tough gauntlet. And then on top of that, with OKC, they ran through whoever that was put in their way. And they won it very convincingly. I know the Nuggets definitely made it interesting series, but they definitely won. And I feel like the betting line should be where it's at. I don't actually have a problem with where they actually have that. I do think that OKC is a heavy favorite, but I think going into the series, I think the series is going to be more competitive than especially against that Minnesota series. So I think Indiana do create some matchup problems, especially with Pascal Siakam, um, um, Ned Smith, guys like that, Obi Toppin. They do create some matchup problems. They are a top ranked defensive team in this postseason. But OKC, they just got a lot of weapons down there. They got the guy people. I'm not saying it. They saying he is the best player in the league. I mean, he is the MVP. They got my guy, one of my favorite players, the one, the only.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
El Capitone, Chet Holmgren, baby. And along with Jalen Williams, man. So yeah, I definitely do think they're the heavy favorites, and I don't think there's a problem with that. And I think this is like motivation for Indiana, though, for them feel like they're disrespected as far as the betting lines go. So they possibly use it as motivation going into the NBA Finals.
Man, y'all okay with them being the biggest favorite in NBA history? I think it's that much better than Indiana.
No, I just think that this.
I'm taken back by that because I think that y'all should call it a sweep, man. If you really believe that, then it should be a sweep.
I just kind of look at it like we think about how they have their quarterbacks that get paid more than Mahomes is because that's what the market is right now. Right now, I mean, this is what the market is right now. That's how they're setting the market. A lot of people, the betting line. This is basically based on the betting lines. So the betting lines right now are more favorable toward OKC than they were those Shaquille O'Neal Lakers. Because I mean, at the time we knew the Lakers were going to win. Like most people knew the Lakers were going to win, but they didn't. They were playing the Nets, who had J. Kidd.
Yeah, well, I'm saying okay. I'm gonna talk about the one when they beat the Sixers. They swept everybody until they got to the Sixers.
Yeah,
and the Sixers won one game. Game one. It took them to go into overtime with Iverson going crazy not to get swept.
But I mean, at that time, didn't Iverson win the MVP that year?
Yes.
That's why.
But you knew, come on, y'all. Everybody right here, we all old enough. We knew the Lakers were winning that series.
Right, but I mean, it's like you had to give respect to the MVP at least.
Oh boy,
you know what I'm saying? But let's look at it like this. Like I said, it's just the times that we're in. If you would move that same series to right now, that would be the most favorite.
Right. Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You going with it? Okay.
So that's all I'm saying.
I guess that's what's hard for me to comprehend before you said what you said, because I'm sitting there saying to myself, the Thunder should be the favorite, no doubt. What box office said is correct. They were the best team all year. I have no problem with that. But all time, this is it. I'm like, no, they're not. I don't think they're that good. I think they're really good, but I don't think they're that good. Now, maybe in the future,
it's not like they're saying that this team could beat that Lakers team. They're not saying that. They're just saying based off of what the metrics are right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the same metrics right now back then. Of course, the Lakers would have had. The Lakers would have been an even bigger favorite than OKC is right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all good. I think this is gonna be a competitive series. I really believe that in my heart. I know I might be wilding, but I'm just telling y'all what I think. Maybe I'm like Yvonne says. Maybe I'm the prisoner of the moment.
I'll give it 6. I'm not gonna give it 7. I'll give it 6. I think they win a couple in Indiana.
Well, I'll give my prediction when Keel gets to the predictions.
Yeah, people are comparing this series like the chances of the Pacers taking down the Thunder. They're comparing this series when the Pistons beat the Lakers and along the lines of when the Raptors beat the Golden State Warriors. So
you remember what had to happen for the Raptors to beat the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, their best player went out.
Their best two of their best players went out because Klay Thompson went out that same series, right?
Yeah.
KD and Klay had to go out in order for the Raptors to win.
Yeah, so as of right now, it's at they got OKC at a minus 700 and Indiana at a plus 500.
I might put a little money on Indiana. Oh,
yeah, best of luck to you, buddy.
That's $5 I could save, bro.
All
Come
right.
on, man. Y'all so disrespectful, man.
Gas too high to be putting money on something that ain't gonna pop.
Hey, man, I think a little bit of my childhood is diving into this because I was a Pacer fan growing up. We didn't have a team in Louisiana at the time when I was a kid. So, I want the Pacers to win the championship. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I got a little biasness going, but I'm rooting for them.
Okay, well, shout out to all the NBA fans. As soon as we talked NBA, that thing jumped up. We're at 58 people that's tuning in right now. So
yeah, I just posted it on my Facebook.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. But let's get to our next topic, man. And we're gonna more NBA finals, and the two stars that we're talking about is Tyrese Halliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, man. Who needs to win these finals more between these two players?
When you say needs for what? Like
as far as
legacy wise, or
their legacy, their superstar status, certain things like that.
If y'all say Halliburton, y'all wilding. I'm just gonna tell you.
If we talk a superstar status, Halliburton needs to win it more.
Really?
If we talk a superstar status, I would think that everyone, if they ask you who's a bigger superstar, they say SGA over Halliburton right now. So, if in order for anyone, I believe, to call Halliburton a superstar, he would have to win these finals, bro. But SGA, not so much. He's already won an MVP. He's shown what he can do on a consistent basis. He brought this OKC team to the finals on his back, and it's almost like he's established himself as a superstar. Him coming back next year after not winning the finals, everybody will still say he's a superstar. Halliburton's gonna have to get it out the mud again if he doesn't win. Nobody's gonna go into this next season after he loses the finals and say, yeah, Halliburton is a star. He's still not gonna be in the top 5 point guard conversation.
Go ahead, box office.
SGA needs this more because he just won the MVP, and we just had a top 5 list a couple weeks ago, and a lot of people were they were undecided whether he was worthy of being top 5 or not. I think this certifies it if he wins. I had him at number 5, but a championship and a MVP award in the same year, that's crazy. That's what you're looking for as a superstar. Halliburton, I think, shocked a lot of people. If anything, he can only do so much to get them to believe in him even more. He was voted the most overrated player. I think that's out the window now. That's clear that was bad and wrong. So it's SGA for me. And because he's got the MVP, all everybody else is going to look for is, do you have a ring from him? And here is his chance. So it's SGA, and it's not even close.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm shocked. I understand the angle C went with, but SGA, you're the number 1 seed. You have the best record in the league. You're the MVP. You gotta take this right here and say to yourself, put everybody on notice. You're the overwhelming favorite. If he was to lose this series to a 4th seed in the East, and we always hear about how dominant the West is. I know Boston won last year's championship, but I'm saying for the most part, the West is supposed to be the beast. If SGA was to lose this finals with a team that is considered by many or most people the clearly better team, the overwhelming favorite. You were the MVP, the number one seed overall. Last year, you number one seed, and you lost. I just look at it to me as like that's you dropping the ball. Like I think if he wins this, it catapults him, dare I say, to be the greatest OKC Thunder player ever if he was to win this. And that's crazy to think when you think about Kevin Durant, Russ. Like, I mean, I can tell you this. I know it's gonna sound bad, but you got to give him his acknowledgement if he wins the championship. But like, nowhere on earth do I believe in their prime he's better than Kevin Durant. But you have to give him the nod if he was to win the championship. You have to, because he would be the first guy to bring OKC a championship, and that would be crazy. But if he was
hold up, would you say the same thing for Halliburton? If they win, is he the best Indiana Pacer?
Yeah, but I mean, even with Halliburton, like if he was to win it, Reggie Miller, and I love Reggie Miller. I grew up a Reggie Miller fanatic. Loved Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller's not Kevin Durant. Like,
yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. To jump Reggie is cool, but to jump Kevin Durant,
the reason why is the reason why is because we're questioning Tyrese Halliburton if he's even calling him overrated. So it's like that's
well, that's out the window though. He made it to
I think people are still gonna use that narrative on certain narratives on him though. But as far as like SGA goes, like I think that he is the closest thing to being he's a superstar to me, but to be like now,
wouldn't this be a failure though if he didn't win the championship? Like an ultimate failure?
No, not an ultimate.
No, I wouldn't say a failure.
No,
but
the number one seed. You just told me he was in NBA history. They're the biggest favorites, and they gonna lose to the Pacers. I don't know. To me,
it wouldn't be
a lot.
It wouldn't. I don't consider it a failure though, because he's him as a player individually. He has accomplished a lot. You know, you calling him, saying that yo, I've been to the NBA Finals. Yo, I've been to the I have won MVP before. Now we're at the part where it's about, is he the best player in the NBA right now, or is he gonna go down as the greatest Thunder player of all time if he wins it? That's the storyline.
But that's what I'm saying.
Surrounding
that's
SGA.
A big jump. That's what I'm saying. That's a huge jump. If he loses, dog, remember, like I just compared Reggie Miller to Kevin Durant. He has a chance to exceed Kevin Durant. If he was to lose these finals, he'll be in that Reggie Miller realm. That's no disrespect. Reggie Miller's a Hall of Famer. He's in that Barkley realm. But like if he was to win these finals, he puts himself in a different category then, to me.
Yeah, but I mean, if he loses, it depends on how he loses. If he loses, if Indiana just comes out there and they dominate OKC, that's one thing. If he has terrible games, he just does not show up in the finals, that's one thing. But if he goes out there and they lose 4 tough games, man, and it's a great series and Indiana just wins, I don't think it does.
I do agree with that though, because SGA, he has been consistent throughout this entire postseason, in the regular season also. His numbers, it definitely speaks for itself. So if I see him have a bad game and bad shooting nights, I would definitely hold him accountable. But if he loses this series in a close series where the Pacers are just a better team and he's still putting his numbers, I wouldn't say that, okay, this is a really huge failure for you for SGA.
Like I'll give this comparison. Like Ant-Man right now, right? Is he still a top 5 player in the league?
I think he is. I think the team just wasn't better.
Right. So, and he just had, would you say that was a great performance that he had?
No.
Was it top 5 worthy?
No.
So if that didn't hurt him in the Western Conference Final,
Ant was the 6th seed. Like they were the 6th seed. They made it to the Western Conference. Like SGA, bro.
That should be.
The last 2 years, you've been the #1 seed, and you lose in the playoffs. Then now you lose to a team that they're saying you're the overwhelming favorite to beat. I just look at that. To me, that's like you gotta get it done.
But
There's no other way about it.
But you just told me Ant was a 6th seed and he's supposed to be a top 5 player.
Yeah, but
That's saying a lot too.
that don't mean his team is the best team.
That don't mean his team is the best team. Okay, but you telling me the player that has his team #1 for 2 years in a row, and they made the finals this year.
Yes, because the team is loaded.
Well,
bro.
I don't think a lot of us believed in OKC though.
Hey, I didn't pick them to win the championship. I didn't pick them to get to the championship. But I just think that what they've done up to this point, you knocked off the Nuggets, you got past the Nuggets, you got to the finals. You got to get it done, bro. You got to get it done. If you're the MVP, forget what I'm saying. You can say whatever y'all want to say about X. You said Anthony, I lost his name. That fast. Anthony Edwards. Edwards is top 5, but SJ, you're the MVP. You won MVP. You were the #1 seed. No matter what I think, you got to get it done.
But that's my whole point. I'm saying if he goes in here and he puts up an Ant type performance, you saying that's him. He sucks, like that takes him out of all.
It doesn't mean he sucks, but he has a chance to catapult himself into all-time great. And if he doesn't win, he's not gonna scratch that surface. There's a chance he never gets back to the NBA finals. I'm not saying for sure, I don't know. But if he doesn't win these finals, bro, this is his #1 shot.
I think I know what it is right now. I just came to a realization, man.
Oh God.
True X of Sports Junkie, you are an SGA hater, man. #1. Hold on. #1, you don't have him as a top 5 player in the NBA. #2, you were at the point to thinking that the New York Jets and the Indiana Pacers actually have a chance to beat this team.
So you say they don't.
But now you're questioning. That saying this is going to be a big failure for him if he don't win. Come on, man.
Let me put it in this aspect. This is his best chance to jump into that upper echelon, right? Okay, because he may not make it back to the final. What about Luka? Last year he made it to the finals. First year he's out. First round he's out this year.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But I just look at SG and I said to myself, this is his chance. I'm looking at, okay, if I was a Pelican fan, I'll use that as an example. And Zion won MVP with a #1 seed back-to-back years, and he finally took off, and then he gets to the finals, and he's playing the 4th seed on the other side, and he was the #1. I'm like, dog, this is the opportunity. You got to get it done. I don't care what Halliburton did. Throughout these playoffs. You are the MVP. Make it happen.
Yeah, enough of y'all. My turn. I'm actually with X here, though. You mentioned Luka. Luka was a 6th seed. It goes back to the same thing with Anthony Edwards. He was a 6th seed. And when you're the #1 seed and you win MVP on top of it, pressure's on you to win. Now, I'm not, the thing is SGA and OKC are young. They've got plenty of time. So good thing for him. If they don't get it done, they will have more time. So I'm not going to lose my mind on it yet. Let's just see how it plays out. Then this might not even be a topic.
My thing, like I said, y'all saying, okay, they were a 6th seed. That should be an indictment on them. How is that not an indictment on them and their legacy when this man SGA has been the #1 seed? He led his team to the #1 seed 2 times in a row and been the MVP and made the finals. So how is it a bigger tote to his legacy and his career, even though he's just as young as them and he's done more? He's
I'll
done
be
more.
honest with you. I don't think nobody expected the Pacers to be here, and even if they were the number one seeds the past couple seasons, nobody expected OKC to get to the finals. Probably outside of Yvonne, but
No, there was
I,
people. There was people on site. That's just sites, but on
No,
sports talk that
I
picked
think a lot of
OKC to
people.
get there.
I
Besides
think a
Yvonne,
lot of people had
ex-
OKC getting that this year.
not the consensus though. I,
come
I
on,
would say
man.
I would say the consensus would say I think the more of the popular pick would have been you know like the Denver Nuggets. I mean,
Or the
I picked
Lakers.
Denver.
I
I
mean,
won't
oh,
lie.
the
I did. I
Lakers?
picked Denver.
What?
that we just talk about consensus. But my thing, like I said, I'm saying even as an indictment, and to your point though, X, you're saying that he has a chance to take over being the best OKC Thunder of all time. And I brought up Halliburton. If he wins, he gets to take over the being the best pacer of all time. You said, well, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
It
Overtaking
is.
KD. So you think that KD is a more iconic figure to OKC than Reggie Miller is to the Pacers?
I think that
I'm not
Kevin
saying a
Durant.
better player. I'm
No, I'm
saying
saying I think Kevin Durant would, and I love Reggie. But I don't even think it's they're not even in the same stratosphere. Who's the better player?
I'm not saying better player. I'm saying
For
means sports
Indiana, but Indiana would be
organization.
great. But I'm talking about as far as world. I think Halliburton could win this championship, and he'll fall. And this is no disrespect because I love Halliburton. I was clowning with y'all on social media saying my new favorite player, trolling y'all.
Mhm.
But I'm just gonna say, like, I think Halliburton could win these finals, and he could still end up be like Chauncey Billups, which is great. They can look at him like a Chauncey Billups. But for me, SGA has a chance to put himself in a category of the Kevin Durant's and the greats. I just don't see that with Halliburton. Even if he was to win this championship,
Yeah,
he'll be considered the greatest Indiana player. That's cool, but it's different with SGA to me.
yeah, I
SGA has
agree.
more to gain to me.
Yeah, I agree with that because Halliburton, his game has been questioned going into the season when they called him overrated and certain things like that. So his game has been questioned with SGA. There hasn't been nothing really questioned about his game or what he could do. The only thing is they're saying, hey, he's not a top five player, or hey, he's not the best player in the NBA right now. I think
Here's
that's
the
the thing
question
when it
I'm
comes to
asking.
SGA.
Here's the question I'm asking. Is Reggie Miller more iconic to the Indiana Pacers
Yes,
than KD is to the OKC Thunder?
he is.
He
Yeah.
is.
Well, Indiana's
I think
franchise been
if we're
longer
being real, I think we
around
all
longer
can
I
though.
think
agree.
okay, but it's different because Reggie played his entire career over there. KD left and went win championships other places, went to other teams. So it's a little different. It's a little different in my opinion. But
But
as far as the NBA, Reggie's not as big as Kevin Durant as far as the
that's not what I'm
NBA.
asking. No, that's not what I'm asking.
But that makes it bigger.
But what I'm asking is because Halliburton taking over the biggest Indiana Pacer ever is bigger than SGA being the biggest
And
OKC
and and
Thunder player.
and, and another thing, I told you I love Halliburton, but who's to say he even wins MVP? What if it's Pascal Siakam if they win the championship?
Well,
Does
I
he
mean,
really take over Reggie Miller then?
but this is like saying that Jason Tatum didn't win the
Yeah, but Jason Tatum hasn't taken over Boston's all-time greatest player.
No, but what I'm saying is he the best player on the team last year.
Yeah, Jason Tatum. I felt like Jason Tatum was the best player, but
Right.
they
So
said
if
Jalen Brown was.
if he wins it, if Siakam
I
wins,
don't know if he takes over Reggie Miller all time if he's not
All right, guys.
the
Enough of
clear
this. We
MVP.
got to move on. We got to move on right now. So let's go to our next topic, man. We're gonna start breaking down the NBA finals. So I'm gonna start with the
by the
first
way, that
thing,
was a
man.
great topic I brought up.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. But NBA finals, man. Who's the biggest X factor in this series, man, for both teams?
Okay. I'll start off. So to me, I think Siakam's going to show up, and I think Halliburton's going to show up. Okay, so then it comes to when they don't show up, who's going to help? And I think for the Pacers, it's Miles Turner. So I feel like if Halliburton and Siakam are off, one of them, Turner's got to be big. And Turner's been an Indiana Pacer forever. He averaged 15 this year. He got better, I felt like, as the playoffs went on as well. I know Nembhard had some games and Naismith had some games, but Miles Turner is technically their third best player. And so your third best player has to come up in these situations, or the Pacers can't. I don't think the Pacers can get it done if just Siakam and Halliburton are producing. And you know they're bound to have some bad games. So it has to be that third guy to be consistent constantly. And then with the Thunder, I'll go Holmgren. I think Chet Holmgren is crucial in this series, not only offensively but defensively. He's going to have some tough jobs. He's going to have to carry Turner at times, sometimes Siakam. I'm going to say Chet Holmgren, not from a scoring standpoint, because I think OKC is always going to score. From a defensive standpoint, they're going to need some help, and I think he's going to be crucial. So I'll go Holmgren and I'll go Miles Turner.
Okay, so the meaning of X factor is noteworthy special talents or quality, right? So it won't be like, okay, who's the best player on the team? It's going to be somebody that has a special quality that's bringing it to the team. And I am going to go with Siakam for Indiana. I think he's just so versatile. He's so versatile for him. He has to be accounted for. He's a bucket when he wants to be. He's a bucket. He can make 3-pointers. He can score in the paint. His midi is not bad. And on the defensive side, he can cause problems for pretty much anybody on their team outside of a SGA. So I think that he'll be the X factor on that side. And I actually was going with Chet until box office said it. But he had great points for that. But I would almost say the entire bench for OKC is going to be the X factor because you got those players like Caruso and Dort being big factors as far as defensively. They lead the defensive charge on this OKC team. So I would go with the if not the bench, the defense being the biggest X factor on OKC, not just one player. But that would be the X factor on the OKC side.
So before y'all went, I actually wrote down Miles Turner, and then I wrote down Dort and Caruso. So, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I do agree with everything that y'all said. So I'll just say I think the way Nembhard and Neesmith play against SGA is going to be an X factor. If they can stay out of foul trouble and make SGA work without going through to the free throw line, is going to be beneficial for Indiana. And then the same thing on the other side, Dort and Caruso, they're probably going to get Halliburton a lot of the time. And I just think they got to keep Halliburton from penetrating the defense and kicking it out to those 3-point shooters. And if they do that, then they like what y'all said, box office said, they're gonna score. They just have to keep Indiana from scoring so many points of the court. So I think it comes down to those basically 4 guards. Who's gonna play better defense and who's gonna minimize, the opportunity for the opposition.
Man, you just stole my thunder right now with the Pacers and Thunder. Oh, that was the bar.
Oh God.
But Andrew Nembhard, man, I'm going with that guy, man. He had a huge task in hand in the last series. The assignment was Anthony Edwards did a pretty good job on that. And I don't think Nembhard and Nesmith, they don't get talked about enough. We hear about Hallie, we hear about Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, but I think those two guys are especially the X factor. But Um, um, Nemhard, I think he's the X factor to me. He's gonna have a huge defensive assignment also, and then on top of that, he could also score. Also, those two guys, they could shoot the three really good though. So do not leave them wide open, and especially the way Tyrese could distribute the ball, man, and kick it out to that 3 point for that 3 point jump shot. It's gonna be huge for guys like Nemhard and Nesmith. So yeah, I think that will be the X factor in for Indiana. And now as far as OKC goes, I would say Jalen Williams, man. Jalen Williams, he's approaching to taking that next step to be like I would say an all-star, like an all-star. I would say that he's slowly becoming like that go-to number two guy that's going to be really reliable now. Because I honestly felt like Chet was always the number two option, but I feel like Jalen Williams is starting becoming the number two option, and I this could signal uh be a huge sign to his status moving up as a number two option coming up, and I definitely expect him to show up. I definitely expect him because he needs to have some big games also outside of SGA, because SGA is going to get his, but he needs help from his so-called number two guy, and that's Jalen Williams. So those are my two X factors. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna break everything down, from the coachings to the positions, and you tell me what side you're picking. Same thing like when we did when we picked the Super Bowl. So with that being said, NBA Finals head to head. We're gonna start off with the coach, man. Who you guys got? Head coach.
I'm gonna go with
Man, Rick Carlisle, bro. It's not even close. I don't think. I don't think anybody's going to pick against Rick Carlisle. Indiana definitely has the coaching advantage just for longevity alone and experience, finals experience. So I mean, I love the defense of OKC. I think the defensive strategy he has A1, but the way Rick Carlisle has been able to adjust his whole team to playing around Halliburton to where they even look good when Hallie's not on the floor, I think he's doing a great job over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carlisle, the proven guy, the champion himself. He's been here before. He's pulled off a massive, massive upset before. So he's been in this position before, and if I trust any coach in an upset situation, Carlisle is definitely up there from that standpoint, and he could do it again. And I think if Indiana were to win this series, it's because of one of Carlisle's biggest adjustments. So I'll go Carlisle for sure.
Yeah, I mean Jim Carrey, he's a hell of a coach, man. I'm just playing, but no, Rick Carlisle, Rick Carlisle, man, he looks just like Jim Carrey. I've always thought that since he cut his hair bald. But yeah, Rick Carlisle, he's got the head to head in this one, in my opinion. And I view this very much like I viewed Dallas going up against Miami. I swear, everybody thought, including myself, I was like, Miami's gonna walk Dallas. And lo and behold, I'm just gonna tell you, Carlisle's one of them guys. So yeah, I'm going with Carlisle.
Damn. No, I'm just kidding. I got Rick Carlisle, man. I'll base out the experience, man. Let's go. All right, let's go to the bench, man. Who you guys got in the bench?
Oh, I'm definitely going OKC. This is their depth is incredible, and it's a huge reason why they're here. Everybody talks SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and stuff, but like Carson Wallace will have big games. Aaron Wiggins, Dort, Caruso's great defensively. So I'll go Indiana, even though Indiana's had moments off the bench, that's for sure.
I'm going OKC easy, and it's like that's like you said. This is one of the big reasons why they're there, at all. I mean, I think they probably have the best bench in the league, especially right now in the playoffs. They have Jordan Caruso alone. That's Caruso's actually had some great impact on the offensive side during these playoffs. So I mean, he's not just a defensive player; he's liable to hit 3-4 threes on you when you're not expecting it. Especially if you got him going under on your parlay, he'll definitely hit 3 of them on your ass. So I mean, it's definitely OKC in my opinion.
Yeah, it's OKC, but man, I just want to say shout out to Obi Toppin, man. You gotta come through in this series, my boy. You paid New York back. New York drafted you. You came, got the dub against them. Obi Toppin, step up, man. They're gonna need you, Indiana. But yeah, overall, OKC's bench is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going OKC as well.
Yeah, man. I'm going with OKC also, with guys like Dort, Caruso, I don't think Kassan Wallace, he don't get mentioned enough also with the minutes that he contributes on the team. They got O'Connell, Obi, but I just feel like the rotation that they got for OKC, they could beat you with so many different ways, man. So I'll take OKC. All right, man. Let's go to the point guard position, man. Who we got?
Okay. I'm going Halliburton, obviously. He's the second best. Well, are we counting SGA as a 2 or a 1? That's the question.
The way I'm looking at right now, they got SGA as a point guard.
Yeah, right. I mean, I see him more as a 2, but obviously, if we're gonna go them head to head, I'm going SGA. He's the more consistent player. He's gonna get to the line. Halliburton will have a bad game here and there.
Oh yeah.
And even SGA, when he shoots 9 for 29, he'll get to the free throw line 14, 15 times. So, it might be annoying to watch, but hey, he's getting points for his team. So I'll go SGA.
I'm gonna go to SGA. He's the MVP, man. I think if it was a one-on-one between Halliburton and SGA wins that one-on-one all the time. And come on, man, this ain't the Knicks. So
yeah, man.
I really do believe that. Like I said, man, a lot of people don't like the way SGA plays, but I think him attacking the basket and getting fouled, you don't like it, don't foul him. You know what I mean? And let him finish. I love to see him play, to be honest with you. So like I said, I'm gonna go with SGA. Especially they got him going point guard, but I mean he plays. He's more. The league is full of point guards that really are tools. Right. So you know what I'm saying. That's like Steph Curry. Steph Curry, come on, bro. He's playing. They got him listed as a point guard, but he's a tool, bro. So it's all good. So I'm gonna go with SGA.
Yeah, go ahead, hater.
I'm gonna go SGA, bro. I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not a hater, bro. I'm not a hater. I just call it like I see it. I'm truthful. That's what you may not like, but yeah, I'm gonna go SGA's the MVP. You're the number 1 seed. You got home court. Hey, you're supposed to be there. This is you. This is your time. This is your time. I got SGA.
Well, I'm definitely picking SGA over that dork Tyrese Halliburton. Definitely.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, the MVP, the top 5 player, man. Let's go, man. SGA. I got him at the point guard.
You didn't even have me in your top 5, I thought.
No, I did. Look at the tapes, buddy.
You slick.
Anyways, man. No, we weren't talking about you, Yvonne. We're talking about me. I had them. We know you did. But and you had them in the finals also. I just want to add that too. But
take it out your mouth, dog.
But all right.
People see you.
All right, let's go to the shooting guard position, man. Who we got, man?
Well, OKC at times has had Dort come off the bench, but then some of this, most of these players have started him. I'll go Dort over Nembhard, just because I feel like Nembhard's a little inconsistent as well. He did not even have a good series last series. And for what Dort is on the court to do, I like Dort. And if I'm talking just like for their own position, for their own teams, shooting guards, I'm gonna go Dort.
Yeah, I'm going Dort as well. Um, I'm probably gonna go everything leaning OKC, just being real because I think that they have better players, especially what they've proven this year. So yeah, I'm gonna go Dort.
I'm surprised. I think this is extremely close. I just said both of these guys are the X factors, but I'm gonna go Nemhard for this series. I will. I think Nemhard. He didn't play particularly well offensively in the last series, but even though Jalen Brunson did go crazy in some games, I felt like he played Jalen Brunson very well in those games. So I'm gonna go Nemhard. By I'm talking about the smallest. This is literally flip a coin type thing for me.
Well, I just said Demhart would be the X factor, and I'm taking the advantage over Dort. I think he defends the ball well. We've seen it the last the last series. He could shoot the three, pretty well also. So I'm taking Nemhard over Dort. All right, let's go to the small forward position.
Okay, so probably probably not even close here. I'm going Jalen Williams. He's the better player here. I'm not gonna have much and waste time.
Yeah, me either. Jalen Williams, man.
Yeah, Neesmith, my boy. Yeah, that's my boy. He can shoot it, but nah, he's not better than Jalen Williams. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, and like I said, I just mentioned how Jalen Williams is the X factor, just clearly a better player both sides of the ball, and yeah, I'm taking Jalen Williams. All right, let's go to the center position.
We pass.
Well,
Pass over power forward.
I'm doing that last.
Okay, all right, my bad.
Okay, center. I'm going Miles Turner. Hartenstein's a solid player, and he'll sometimes sneak around and give you 20 and 10, but it's Miles Turner. I like Miles Turner. He's been around forever. He's a more proven player. I got Indiana.
Yeah, I'm going Miles Turner. I don't think he'll be a pacer for long. So this is gonna be maybe his swan song to Indiana. So I think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play really well. If you listen to him speaking after the Eastern Conference Final, they asked him, being the longest tenured pacer on the team, how he felt. He was basically like, "Man, I've been here from the bottom to now." So you know what I'm saying. I think he's going to take advantage and play up to the competition this series. So I expect him to have a really good series this year. Just I don't expect him to have enough in his tank to push the Pacers over.
I got Miles Turner too. Hartenstein, he's solid, but Miles Turner to me, like box office said, is considered that third best player, and he has to play like it in this series for them to win this series. So I'm gonna say Miles Turner.
Yep, going Miles Turner also.
He's gonna feel Hartenstein.
Yeah, he just does more, and he'll have more of an impact on for Indiana because I honestly feel like OKC could remove Hartenstein and OKC could still win some big games. I can't say the same for Indiana. So
No.
I'm going Miles Turner. All right, let's go to the last one. We going with the power forward, man.
I'm also going Indiana. Siakam over Holmgren. Siakam's been crazy good for Indiana. I thought he was the main reason they actually won the series against New York. I just thought he was the most consistent player every night. Even when they lose, he had a big game. No one gives a damn about no Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I don't even know what the NBA is doing with that.
Third trophy, man. What are you talking about?
It's just when we go through these careers, no one's gonna be like, man. Remember when Jordan won the Eastern Conference MVP? Uh, but hey, Siakam's got an NBA ring though, and he was a huge contributor to that. So here's another chance to get another ring with another squad. So remember, he was traded to Indiana, so this was a big pickup that's paying off for Indiana right now. Holmgren's time will come. I hate the way he looks on the court. I mean, he weighs less than Keo, but he's taller than all of us. I mean, it just looks weird. But his time's going to come. But right now, Siakam's the better player, and if Indiana's going to win this series, they need to take advantage of that matchup.
I got to start going before box office. He took all my damn points. All right, yeah, man. Siakam is he's going to be very important to them if they have a chance. And a lot of people don't remember that big trade that happened last year. Siakam actually saved their season last year when he got traded over there. So I think that's one of the better trades that have happened for any team in the NBA in the last few years. I think it paid off the most for any team, even with the Luka trade. I think this trade actually benefited Indiana more than the Luka trade benefited either one of the teams. So I would say that it actually was better than the Cat and Randall trade. I think it's benefited Indiana more than it has any other team in any other trade in recent history. So yeah, I definitely got Siakam over Chet. Chet still he still got some growing to do, bro. He got not physically, but like mentally as being an NBA player. You can tell he's still young. From him even missing those free throws the other night. You know, you can tell he still has the nerves at the end of the game. But he has had some great games to where he was just catching it off the rim and poking that thing. And to where he couldn't even be stopped scoring. And I think that was like maybe in game 4 of the last series. He was damn near unstoppable in the second half. So I mean, Chet got some room to grow, but he's not better than Siakam right now.
Man, this. I'm gonna get to my answer, but when Chet was coming out, I tried to tell Keo. I said, "Man, Chet's a problem. Chet's not gonna be no bust." I'm telling you. I know Paulo Banchero. I'm not mad at him going number 1, but I was like, man, it should be on him too. And then Jabari Smith went second. I'm like, the Rockets tripping. I'm going Chet, and they went Jabari. But shout out to him. But I gotta go with Spicy P. Come on, man, Pascal Siakam. Hey, man, listen, I love Chet. I love that. I think he has a bright future. But like C said, in that Nuggets game, you could see palms got sweaty. He missed some crucial free throws, and the Nuggets ended up winning that game because he missed those free throws. This is on the biggest stage now against a team that you're supposed to beat, according to you guys. But Spicy P, Rick Carlisle, Halliburton, baby. Hey, we about to see what's about to happen. But I got Spicy P on this one. NBA
Another
champion.
thing, man. You don't want to ever bet against an ugly dude, man. Ugly dude,
man. Bro, what?
Well, Siakam ugly as hell. Come on, bro.
What does that matter?
Bro, he has nothing to lose, and that's how he hooping, bro. He got nothing to lose.
Wow.
Shout out to Spicy P, bro.
Well, I definitely don't got no Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. I'm going with my guy, the one, the only.
The guy you called a bust.
Anyways, you called him a bust. I didn't. No. Okay, fine. I did. All right. Okay, now shut up, Red. Let me talk. All right. So I got the one, the only, Mr. El Capitan, Chet Holmgren, man. I like what in the Denver series he did struggle. He averaged 20. I think he averaged over 20 in the Memphis series, and he was a huge part in the last series against Minnesota, man. I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup with with Chet Holmgren and Pascal Siakam. Normally, Pascal has had his ways in this series, but Chet is a different type of player because he could beat you inside, he could beat you outside. I don't think he's the only problem for me, he's not as aggressive when he tried to go for the boards. That may be a huge issue. He could get to the free throw line. I like Chet Holmgren in this matchup. I don't think Pascal, he's gonna have the type of series he had the last series though. I'm going with Chet in this one. Okay, and with that being said, we're moving on over, and we are about to give our NBA finals predictions, man. So with that being said, give your finals predictions along with your finals MVP. Go ahead.
So I'll go first. Look, I'm rooting for Indiana.
There
So
you go. Yes.
when I watch this series, I'm going to be rooting for Indiana like I am a Pacers fan. But at the end of the day, I think that Oklahoma City has too much depth. They're going to get to line a bunch, and SGA is going to continue doing what he did all year. I think he caps it off with the finals MVP. I think Carlisle will make some adjustments, and he will push the series and make it interesting. I'm going to go Oklahoma City in 6 games. Indiana finds a way to get 2. I think if Indiana really wants a shot to win this series, they have to win one of the first 2 games in Oklahoma. They have to. If they don't win, they're in a lot of trouble. So I think the way it's going to go down is they split in Oklahoma City, they split in Indiana, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder finish it off with 2 close wins to win the NBA title. Y'all know me. I always tell y'all I'm very patient with my coaches. Well, guess who else I'm patient with? My GMs. As long as you're a contender. Sam Presti is due for one. He has built some great teams, but he has not closed the deal. I mean, he's been a drafting machine. And Sean Murray, yes, Captain Obvious me actually had Oklahoma City in the NBA Finals. Would love to hear your opinion in your prediction. But Captain Obvious here was right. And Sam Presti, man, he is due for one. I think he finally builds a team that wins the NBA title, and it all pays off. I said be patient. Well, it's 2025. He was hired in 2007. 18 years. And it might be just finally capped off with an NBA title. Oklahoma at 6, SGA Finals MVP, and is officially a top 5 player in the NBA with that. And he was already in my top 5 before this. This will confirm.
Hey, Yvonne, Danny said you got bars tonight.
Oh, I have bars all day, every day. Y'all handle battle rap. I'll handle sports rap over here. Woo! Shout out
Lux out of here.
Shout out
Watch
to
your
Danny.
mouth.
All right, man. Like I said, I gotta stop going out the Yvonne, bro. He's right. He's right, man. The OKC Thunder will win this NBA championship. The team, I've always been a person. I go off the team chemistry. Team chemistry usually outweighs everything. And when you look at the team chemistry on OKC, those guys actually like each other, and they have so much that they're playing for. They're so young, and to go ahead and set the standard right now to win a championship, that would mean so much to their team and their franchise and their players as individuals. SGA will officially stamp himself. He's top 5 in my opinion right now, but he'll establish himself, and pretty much he's going to be undeniable. I always tell my kids, you got to be undeniable when you go out there and play. So he's going to make himself undeniable by winning the finals this year and winning finals MVP. I got him in 6 games. Because I think Indiana gets a couple of them, probably at home, because I don't think they win any in OKC. OKC is such a hard place to play, bro. It's such a hard place to play. So I got OKC in 6 SGA MVP.
Wow. Kill, go ahead, Kill. Hold on to this. Kill, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. I let me see. Hold on. Okay. Uh, damn, I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you good.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, C's on mute. That's why. All right. So, they got OKC as the heavy favorites in the series, and I definitely do agree with them. Um, I think this can be a series, but it may not be a series because OKC is heavy favorites. I honestly feel like OKC will take the first 2 games at home. I do think that Indiana will take the following game in Indiana. Then I also do think that I honestly do think that OKC will get 1 game on the road, and OKC will finish it off at home in game 5, man. 4 games to 1. OKC, man. I got SGA as the finals MVP. And there you have it, man. That's my NBA finals predictions.
So y'all all got OKC. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you back to sounding like a robot.
Yeah, your static is back again.
Oh, okay, hold on.
You must be about to say some BS, man. Yeah, man. The internet don't even want to hear this BS X finna say, bro.
X with his emotional pick, obviously.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to hear him explain how the Pacers are finna win this, and Siakam's gonna win MVP or something crazy.
I think if they keep SGA off the free throw line, it could be very interesting. But I just don't know how that's gonna happen.
You can't keep him off the free throw line because when he comes, he forces the action.
Right.
That's the good thing about his game. He forces the action. It's not like I said, Harden used to shoot all these 3-pointers and lean into you and force the contact, force you to make any kind of contact with him. I didn't like that. But his game, it was effective. They took that away, and SGA, he found a way to make himself force the action, and he makes his free throws. Not only does he go to the line, it's like, if you foul somebody and they miss one of those 2 free throws, that was a good foul. That's what I always say as a coach. But if he's making both of them, so it's not really even a good foul. You're gonna foul him. All he's doing is catching his breath, getting time to catch his breath, and getting 2 points for free. So I mean, I like this game. I don't think there's no way to keep him off the line because he's not going to change. That's one thing about him, the difference between him and Ant. He's going to continue to press the issue. He's going to continue to press the issue. I saw Ant getting the ball up out of his hands, bro. That's what I don't like about Ant's game. And I mean, not just to compare them. They played them differently, but Minnesota should have took some of the some out of the OKC playbook and try to do that to SGA, and maybe he would have gotten the ball out of his hands. I know they sent the double team at him a couple times, but he pressed that issue anyway. He split the double team a couple of times and still got to the goal and got fouled. So I mean, you got to have so much. It's got to be so much that goes Indiana's way in this finals. I don't see that much going their way for them to be able to outscore OKC. Oh,
is it working, man? I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
It's still bad.
All right, hold on.
Man.
Yeah, He's probably using my Wi-Fi chat.
Yeah, bro. You didn't send him your Wi-Fi box.
I probably jacked. He probably jacked my IP address. But yeah, shout out to the chat, man. You guys are tuned in there right now. Definitely shout out to you guys. 83 people tuned in right now. You got any questions? This is
We
time
got
to
some
ask.
comments. We got some comments over here. Sean Murray says Rusty Wallace might buy the Pacers next season if the funding goes through. Any comments? I don't care.
Rusty Wallace. That's like a NASCAR dude.
Yeah,
yeah, he's not
Is he
car.
trolling?
I see. I think he is.
yeah. I get it. He says lower concession prices if he buys the Pacers. I don't give a damn.
But yeah, man. But NBA Finals though, man. How much are you guys looking forward to this finals matchup? It does goes down this Thursday though.
Scale of 1 to 10, 7, probably a 7. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to game 1 more than any of them, just because so I can see what it looks like. Because I got in my head how I think it's gonna look, but most of the time it never plays out like that. So I kind of want to see how it looks in real life, how they really match up in a real game against each other, and that'll tell me a lot just seeing that one first game. I'm looking forward to it at 7. It was probably, if you had told me that this would have been the finals matchup at the beginning of the playoffs, or yeah, I would have probably been at a 4. And at the beginning of the season, I probably would have been at a 2. So a 7 is a really big stretch for me.
Okay, I'm actually with C here. I'm at a 7. But I see what C's saying by I just got to see how game 1 looks, because if it's a blowout for OKC, that's not a good sign.
No.
Give me a close game 1, and I'm gonna be even more excited. Game 1's Thursday, game 2 Sunday. So we'll immediately know by next week's show, we'll know what the series is kind of looking like after the first 2 are in OKC. I'm excited. I mean, I'm a sports fan. My thing is, I'm always excited for any big championship, even if I have a bad feeling about it. I try to convince myself that it's going to be better than what I expect. I just hope Indiana, man. I hope Rick Carlisle keeps making adjustments and keeps it close and keeps OKC challenged, and that will make the series better. And I think what I'm excited about is just how Indiana has been playing these playoffs. They've been so surprising at the way they make adjustments and make late runs in games, that if they keep it going, this is going to be an awesome series. So I'm also happy that the parity is going on, that we're getting something different, 2 small markets. So that excites me, because it's not the same old for me. I like seeing something new and different.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
You're
Yeah,
better.
you're good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, man. I closed out every app I had. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Before I give my answer, can I ask y'all this? Because I know y'all was talking. Do y'all think that the super teams people are going to go away with that, basically with these 2 teams getting to the NBA Finals? Like trying to sign the free agent?
No.
Because Paul George got traded for both of these guys in a sense. And it was, 2 headline guys. In some sense, he played a role in all this happening. So do you think that teams are going to go away from that and be like, we're going to build our team through trades and, well, not trading superstars, but good trades and good draft picks?
I don't think so. I mean, Giannis is next, and I guarantee you, whoever tries to grab him is going to be like,
the stars there, if the stars there, they're gonna go after it. So I think they're still gonna get those stars.
Okay.
If you're a GM, your job is to make your team better with the best players possible. So if you have a chance to get a Luka, you got to make the trade. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so we did the breakdown. I had the Pacers winning 4-3 on the breakdown. Head coach shooting guard, power forward, center, and I didn't even include Halliburton being over SGA. And I know box office wants to say it. X always does this. I got the Indiana Pacers winning the
Oh,
NBA Finals. Man, let me tell y'all,
oh
bro.
my God.
Listen,
This is
listen, listen.
That's
ridiculous
why your
right
phone
now.
was tripping right there.
Hey, I knew you was gonna say that. I swear to God.
Drug test him immediately, man.
Hey, calm down, calm down. Hey, everybody, you picked against Indiana in the first round. You thought Milwaukee was gonna beat them. Then most of us thought Cleveland was gonna beat them. Then we thought New York. Well, I thought New York was gonna beat them. I'm not gonna lie. I just have a feeling, man. I have a feeling about Rick Carlisle. I have a feeling about this team. Like C said, after the All-Star game, things changed in Indiana. And I'm going to trust that they're going to get it done. I think that people are wilding saying that OKC is the overwhelming favorite. I don't have no problem with you saying they're the favorite, but to say they're the overwhelming favorite, that's crazy to me. I do think that Indiana's going to win one of the first two games. I think box office is onto something with that. I think they got to get one of the first two. I think they're going to get game one, surprisingly. I think they're going to get them game one. I think OKC is going to lose game one. And I think Indiana goes on from there and just wins the series. I think it goes 6 games. I want it to go 7. I really do. I want it to go 7 games. But I think if it goes 7, then OKC would win the series because I can't see Indiana winning game 1 and turn around and having to win game 7 in OKC. So I'm going to say 6, but it's going to be entertaining. And unlike the Eastern Conference Finals, Tyrese Halliburton will win Finals MVP. His dad's going to come on the court. He might come on the Nbs Show and talk noise to y'all for disrespecting his son and the Indiana Pacers. I got the Pacers, man.
All right, man. Let's go to our last topic, man, before we wrap things up, man. So, if you were in the no, I'm just kidding. This ain't NBS. Let's talk about it. but anyway, no, we're gonna go to the segment that we started, that X started last week of the who's the greatest player of a certain team. So go ahead, X. Let's go with the NFC North, baby. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Wait, I'm sorry. The thing tripped out on me again. What you said?
When you did the greatest players of certain teams.
Okay, so me and Keo been doing Mount Rushmore. So what did I leave off on the greatest players at? Because me and Keo's been doing something
we finished off with the West Division. So now we could go with the North.
Okay, let's go to the North.
South,
okay,
or whatever.
We'll go to the North, and we'll start with Are we gonna do the entire North on both sides, or just how y'all want to do it?
That's what we did last week.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Okay, so let's start with the NFC, the Bears. Who's the greatest Bears player? I mean, come on, man.
I'll start. Jim McMahon. Nah, Walter Payton, bro. Walter Payton, the best NFL, and I mean Chicago Bear. And
that's right, buddy. I do agree with you on that one.
I barely saw him play. Like I was probably 4 or something like that, and I saw him play. But yeah, I give him the best. I started watching sports at a young age.
In the words of box office, I don't know who that was. It's just comic casuals. We're not worried about that. No, I'm just playing. Hey, shout out to everybody for commenting. We love all y'all. Shout out to y'all. Keep the comments flowing.
Look what you did, Yvonne.
Boy, I said Jay Cutler.
He must be trolling. I'll go Walter Payton as well. I mean, 16,000 yards. He was part of that team that won the Super Bowl. Those mighty Bears that are still mentioned, the 85 Bears that are still mentioned to this day. Walter Payton for sure.
Yeah, Bears have a lot of great players.
Yeah, Walter Sweetness, man. Walter Payton, number 34, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history, man. Walter Payton.
Nah, y'all right on this one. Y'all right on this one. That's why I went with the Bears first. I thought it was pretty much a slam dunk on that one. There's a lot of great players doing that in the Bears franchise history, but I'm going to go Walter Payton as well. That Super Bowl ring really stands out for me, along with the stats and just his legacy. So I'm going to go Walter Payton as well. All right. Y'all want to go straight to the AFC? I want to go just straight down the NFC.
Let's go straight down the NFC.
All right. The greatest player in Detroit Lions history. I'm trying to make it easy for y'all, but this is kind of close to me.
This is not close to me. I am going Barry Sanders. Okay.
Wow.
I told y'all last week, we looked it up. He played 10 seasons with the Lions.
That's a
okay.
fact.
This fool went over 1,000 yards all 10 years. I don't have to add anything else, bro. And that was not the best Lions. I know they had Herman Moore and a couple other players, but without Barry Sanders, bro, that team is trash. Calvin Johnson, I don't think played 10. I want to say he played 8 or 9. Regardless, though, Calvin Johnson to me is not a top 5 receiver all time, even though you could maybe make the case. Barry Sanders, if he's not in your top 5 running backs, that's absurd. Barry Sanders, 10 years, 1,000 yards. There's nothing else to add.
All right. Autobot, Decepticon, whatever you want to do, it's going to be Barry Sanders. I want to say Megatron. Everybody wants to put Megatron in there, and he was outstanding, but he was no Barry Sanders, bro. The first thing that you think about when you think about the Detroit Lions is Barry Sanders. It's nobody else is just going to jump in your head faster than that. And if somebody does, if I say Barry Sanders, it's going to erase whatever the hell you were thinking about. So it's got to be Barry Sanders. He's the best Lions of all time.
And Calvin Johnson did play 10, by the way. So they played the same amount of years.
Yeah. I definitely got Barry as the greatest Lions ever. When I started watching football, man, the two running backs I remember that stood out to me that was dominating the in football was Barry and Emmitt Smith. Those guys were the 1 and 2, and just what Barry did, man. Sometimes it looks like he's gonna lose yards, and he gains them. Sometimes he looks like a damn video game when you see him playing and watching him. So yeah, definitely Barry, man. Greatest Lion of all time.
Man, I agree with y'all, but I will say this though, and I know y'all might be actually wilding. I think the wide receivers is harder to be a top 5 wide receiver than it is to be a top 5 running back. The receivers, bro, Jerry Rice is there. Jerry Rice is one of the greatest players of all time. And I mean, I know Barry Sanders is as well, but I'm just saying, like, Jerry Rice is a different type of level. So to be in that category, to me, is a little harder. But I will say Barry Sanders for sure is the greatest line of all time. But shout out to Megatron. And I do think Megatron's top 5, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, my bad. I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna save the last one. Let's go Minnesota Viking. I'm not gonna do the Packer last. Viking.
Randy Moss.
Wow.
Look, he played 8 years there. Randy Moss was another level. Now, you want to talk top 5 receivers? That's a top 5 receiver ever. Randy Moss was unstoppable. I pretty much saw the whole Vikings tenure, and obviously then he followed that up with the Patriots. He was in Oakland for I think it was 2 years, but regardless, he was unstoppable. Now, I understand if you say Chris Carter, Adrian Peterson, something along those lines, they've had some great players, but to me, Randy Moss is probably the second best wideout ever, and I'm going to go because of that, Randy Moss.
All right, let me get some of that. Adrian Peterson is the best Minnesota Viking ever. And I would say it's very close between him and Chris Carter. Not even Randy Moss. I would say it's close between him and Chris Carter. because they both were at the Vikings when all the Vikings had was them, and they both excelled. And it was harder for AP to do it because he never had offensive line worth a damn, to be honest with you. And the season that he had after tearing his ACL, come back, run for 2,000, and win the MVP. None of those other Vikings did anything close to that. Now, whereas Randy Moss was he was highlight. He was highlight, but I would argue that I could get every highlight that we got from Randy Moss, I could argue I could bring up an Adrian Peterson highlight to match it. So, but I'm just gonna go off. Let's just go off the numbers and the impact that they actually have for their team. I'd go with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, you got it. The floor is yours.
I'm going Randy Moss in this one, man. Randy Moss, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Gives me nightmares what he did to my Cowboys on Thanksgiving that one year. I'm always still gonna remember it with him and freaking. Was it Cunningham or Culpepper that was throwing those damn balls to him?
I think it was Culpepper that year. No, I think it was.
It was Culpepper. It was Culpepper.
Yeah, it was Culpepper.
Yeah, man. I like Randy Moss, man. Just the impact he had, and I just never seen a receiver that could go and get the ball like that, though, man. That was just special, and just the size. Like he wasn't that big of a receiver. Also, he just had that speed, the height, and the way the way he catches the ball, man. And he was a good route runner. Also, I think that was also underrated. Also, and he was just exciting and box office to watch. I'm going Randy Moss. I'm going Randy Moss. No, not his height. I mean the body size.
This one is a good one, I will say, but I'm with box office and kill here. Randy Moss. See, I understand where you're going with Adrian Peterson. I understand it. I'm not mad at it, but Randy Moss put the fear of God in quarterbacks. Like they knew what time it was. If you had to line up against Randy Moss, like he made people look foolish. It didn't matter if it was Hall of Fame players like Darrell Reeves, Charles Woodson. Didn't matter who was guarding them. Randy Moss is just different to me. And I just said, I think wide receiver, to be up in that upper echelon of wide receivers is harder to be to me than a running back. And if I had to take one player to start my franchise, I'm taking Randy Moss. I am. And I'm not even thinking twice. I think Adrian Peterson's phenomenal. But give me Randy Moss all day, man. Just a freak. His nickname was the Freak. So, I'm going Randy Moss. Last but not least in this division, let's stir some things up here. Who is the greatest Green Bay Packer player? Uh-oh.
I already know who I got, man.
Well, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh!
It's not even close, bro. He went to a Super Bowl. He won it. He also has 4 MVPs on top of it. He's better than Brett Favre. Brett Favre was a goofball out there with how much he put the ball in trouble. Now, don't get me wrong. He won 3 MVPs. He won a ring, and he deserves credit for that. But he was way too reckless compared to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers took care of the ball. You could trust him more. And the difference, because they both have 1 ring each, the difference is then the MVPs. I felt like you could trust Aaron Rodgers, and my eye test just told me to trust him more. Brett Favre, I didn't know what I was getting. Sometimes he was getting 3 interceptions. Sometimes he'd throw 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Sometimes 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Sometimes 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. I don't know. He was all over the place. But Rodgers, I knew what I was getting. Rodgers, to me, y'all might disagree, it's top 5 quarterback of all time, but Brett Favre is not. And it really came down to those 2 guys for me. Bart Starr played when it was like World War One. So I don't.
Come on, man. Be respectful, Yvonne.
It's the truth.
Just say
All
I
right.
didn't watch him play. You don't have to be disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Bart
Oh.
Starr did play. Star played in like Prohibition days or whatever. I
Come on, man.
think they had just ended slavery and
Come on, man. What
snap that Sunday. But but anyway, bro. I kind of go when I look at this, I go by impact and who you think about when you think about the Green Bay Packers, and that's gonna be Brett Favre. That's gonna be Brett Favre.
wow.
Almost like I think about it like this. Yes, Aaron Rodgers had 4 MVPs to Brett Favre's 3, so seems like he should have had more than one Super Bowl to me. I think that's kind of more that proves more to be an indictment against him than an accolade for him. Because he had 4 seasons. Let's just say we go off only the MVP season. He had 4 seasons that he should have made it at least to the Super Bowl, and he only made it once. The other 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, he got put out before the NFC Championship game, correct?
Well, you did lose a bunch of NFC title games, so I'm not sure. I got to look into it.
Yeah, but I would say when I think Green Bay Packers, I immediately think Brett Favre. You got other players that I would put in consideration. Reggie White, his impact for the Green Bay Packers, I believe it was very, very. He was very instrumental in the resurrection of the Green Bay Packers franchise with that free agent. That people are calling that the best free agent pickup ever. Reggie White going to the Packers. So I would kind of even think about him as more impactful to the Packer franchise than Aaron Rodgers, considering Aaron Rodgers kind of underachieved as a Packer, if you ask me.
Go ahead, Keo. Uh-oh.
You know who I'm going with, man. I'm going with Brett Favre, man. In this one, man. He's the greatest Packer of all time to me, in my opinion. You know, Aaron Rodgers just followed his footstep, and if we talking about divas, I mean, the biggest diva of all is freaking Aaron Rodgers out here. I got to give credit to Brett Favre. You know, he was an Iron Man, 299 consecutive straight starts, man. Not most quarterbacks can do that, and he did it going through a lot of injuries. He won, consecutive MVP awards. You know, he went to the Super Bowl. You know, his resume is there. I honestly feel like his resume is as good as Aaron Rodgers. He actually has a better playoff record than Aaron Rodgers also. Since we always like to talk about postseason success, playoff records, and all that. I mean, they did have the same amount of losses, but Brett actually had more. And I think the only thing that you can say about Brett Favre is the interceptions he threw. And Brett, he just took a lot of chances and risk, and he wasn't a scary cat. He wasn't a chicken shit like Aaron Rodgers is. Right now. Hold on, man. I mean, my turn, man. I got the GOAT, Brett Favre, as the greatest Packer of all time. Finally, we agree on something. See, you are really smart after all, man.
That's all I'm saying.
I've been knowing you guys for a long time, and everybody in the chat. I thought I taught these guys better, but obviously I only taught Yvonne well. Yvonne is 1,000% correct there. It's Aaron Rodgers. What are we talking about? Aaron Rodgers is clearly the best player in Green Bay Packers history. It is the eye test, like you said, box office. Bruh, Aaron Rodgers is considered a top 5 quarterback. Brett Favre is not. And that's no disrespect to Brett Favre. He's a great. We understand that Hall of Fame. We're not taking that from him. But here's the top to top. But here's the top that off. I look at it and say to myself, I came after Brett Favre, where the expectations was, man, we just saw somebody great. And yet, still, with all that greatness and how much he's loved in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers came in there, won 4 MVPs, won a Super Bowl. I give it to Aaron Rodgers. I think the eye test tells me that. Like Yvonne said, the interception is a huge problem for me. Aaron Rodgers took care of the ball. Did he underachieve some years? Maybe so. But at the end of the day, if I had to take one of these guys to start a franchise with, without question, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
Let me ask y'all a question. Who was the best wide receiver Brett Favre threw to?
Sterling Sharp.
By
far.
Absolutely. What about Aaron Rodgers?
No, it wasn't.
By far.
No, it was not.
Not even close.
It was not.
Devontae Adams for Rodgers.
I like Antonio Freeman.
Come on.
Bro, stop.
That's my opinion, though. What you mean? Antonio Freeman. I like Antonio Freeman.
That's literally like
that's my opinion, though, man. How you gonna question my opinion, though?
Hurt, bro. Sterling Sharp, bro.
Keyword if
all the greats.
Keyword if that we could
He's
say that
he's a Hall of Famer. Antonio Freeman is not.
Yeah, because of a family. That's why in the popularity contest.
I mean,
that's the main reason why, man.
Bro, what?
Hey, man. All right. So, okay, let's say who's the second best. Let's say who's the second best wide receiver Favre threw to.
Maybe Donald Driver, probably.
Driver was good. Robert Brooks was good.
I'd say Donald Driver.
Donald Driver. You wouldn't say Antonio Freeman?
Greg Jennings was good too.
Yeah, I would go.
I felt like Driver had a longer, better career.
Yeah, Driver was good. They're all about the same. Now Freeman's up there too. Like they're all about the same.
Of course, Freeman's up there. What you mean?
No, he's not Sterling Sharp.
He is better. He's better than Sterling Sharp.
Shut up, bro.
Sterling Sharp was just average, man.
Driver.
Mike Holmgren made them look good.
It'll be Driver, Freeman, or
I think they're all in the same category. Now, Jordy Nelson, something like that's all about.
My three is number one, Antonio Freeman, 2, Greg Jennings, and 3, and number.
No, I'm using just as far as all like those guys are all in the same bunch.
I got one is Antonio Freeman, 2 Greg Jennings, and 3 is that dork Shepard that you just mentioned.
Shepard, what are you talking?
Or Sharp, whatever his name is.
Hey, bro,
just log off for the night, bro.
All right, so let's see the second best. Who would be second best for Rodgers?
I would say Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson. Third best probably be Greg Jennings for him, right?
Yeah,
probably
that range. Yeah, they're all about the same after that to me.
All right, so who had the best wide receivers out of both of them?
I think Devontae Adams and Sterling Sharp is by far the 2 best, in my opinion, out of the group on both sides.
I think Favre had the better receivers.
Really?
Sharp, Freeman, and then he had Driver for most of his early part.
Nah, it was Rodgers, man.
I say Sharp. He had Sharp for about 2 years?
No, yeah, longer than that. See, Sharp went to the Sharp's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Sharp's in the Hall of Fame though. See, come on, not after 2 years.
Sharp played like 7-8 years.
Yeah, he had to play longer than that. But I remember like Sterling Sharp against Keel's Cowboys. To me, like he always showed up in the playoffs, bro. Like they might have lost, but that fool was always showing up. I don't know what Keel's talking about. Freeman, you wilding, Keel. You wilding with that one. And I like Freeman, but he ain't Sterling Sharp, bro. You got to stop.
He's better than him. You're right. He's not. He's clearly better than him.
Bro, you tripping. You tripping, my
You're
boy.
tripping. You're tripping right now.
Go to the next team, man.
Okay, let's go to the AFC North, and we're gonna start with. Let's see, who's one that's gonna make y'all think a little bit. Oh, I know what C said. The Steelers. Let's go there, cause you said something that had me like, what? Hell nah.
Shit, I'll stick by it. Terry Bradshaw, bro.
Stop, bro. What?
When people think about the Steelers, man, the first person you're gonna think about is Terry Bradshaw.
Not me.
Who you think about? Bubby Brister? Who the
Hey,
hell you
bro.
think
Hey,
about?
I'm gonna answer the question. You go ahead.
He think of
I go
Mike
Terry
Tomczak.
Bradshaw. I think Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw, he's the most recognizable player from those Steelers championship teams. And I mean, he won with 4 Super Bowls with him as their starting quarterback.
Lucky to be around a lot of talent, bro.
We can say that about a lot of players then.
Lucky to be around a lot. He had 2 Hall of Fame receivers, a Hall of Fame running back. Man, I'm not doing that.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, but go look at his numbers.
What, they were good enough to make the Hall of Fame?
Pull him up. I'll let
they
you
were good enough to make the Hall of Fame? That's all I'm saying.
Nobody talks about Terry Bradshaw got 4 rings and nobody mentions him in the top 10 whatsoever at quarterback. He's not even close to the top 10.
In fact, he's the example of why rings don't really matter when it comes to that.
Bro, rings matter, but it doesn't mean that you're the GOAT of a franchise, bro.
I'm just saying most recognizable. When I think about the Steelers, I think Terry Bradshaw first and foremost.
Okay, I disagree. So he's your GOAT in that franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Mean Joe Green could be up there, but I didn't watch him enough. Now the numbers and the accolades say so. So when I think of Pittsburgh, y'all might disagree. This is who I think of, not who I think is their GOAT. I think of Jerome Bettis. And I know he was a Ram first, but as soon as he went to the Steelers is when he really bloomed.
Yeah, that's what you think about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to me, I'm gonna go with Ben Roethlisberger. Just because I didn't watch Joe Green really, but Roethlisberger's better than Terry Bradshaw.
Absolutely.
The numbers show it too. I think Bradshaw had a great team. That was the first Steelers dynasty. They had Lynn Swann and all them, and they were a great team. But Bradshaw, he only threw, let me see, he only threw 2 more touchdowns than interceptions. Like it's kind of like Joe Namath. That's what Joe Namath was. He was average, but he came out guaranteeing a Super Bowl win, and they happen to win, and then he lives off of that. So I'm not going with a guy that has 2 touchdowns more than interceptions. Ben Roethlisberger, also the era he played, bro. He went to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them during Manning, during Brady, during Rivers, during all of them. And I think he kind of changed the Steelers from always known as this run team, defensive team into, they had Le'Veon, they had Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders was there, Hines Ward. They turned more into an offensive team towards the end of his era. I'm going to go Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow. Okay. Kill. Go ahead.
More than Mean Joe Green. If Mean Joe Green came to any one of y'all's door right now and said, "Hey man, my cell phone's not working. I just had a blowout about a mile."
Well, we didn't grow up in that era.
You wouldn't let his ass in your house.
Hey, I'm being consistent. I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna pick nobody from them 4 championships that they got because I didn't watch them. I mean, I did watch, classics of them for sure. We watched Super Bowls that show up on ESPN, but I didn't watch them like that. I'm gonna name somebody who I really believe is the best player in their history.
I bet you let Terry Bradshaw in.
Man, I'll let him stop, bro.
But we know Bradshaw.
We know Bradshaw. Hey, I guarantee there's some people out there. Hey, I guarantee.
But we know Bradshaw because of Fox.
Right, that's why they know him.
You know Terry Bradshaw because of Fox and because he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steve, you being biased because he's from up north Louisiana. Stop.
No, I'm just telling you why I know him. I know why. When I think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you know what? The Steelers have so many obscure players. I could think of a lot of players that I think about. You know what I'm saying? Actually, box office has a very good one with Big Ben. Like that's based off accolades and everything else. But I'm just going over off the top of my head. When I think Steelers, bam, I think Terry Bradshaw. Then, bro, I think Cordell Stewart after that. Wow. That's what's crazy. Like they have so many obscure people. Jerome Bettis, like you said, Jerome Bettis. It's a lot of people you can put for the Steelers, bro.
Wow. Okay.
Joe Green ain't gonna be one of them.
The greatest Steeler. Hold on, the greatest Steeler of all time is Ben Roethlisberger to me. He got the championships to show for it. He got the moments to show for it. It didn't matter who was his wide receiver, even if it was Antonio Holmes, if it was Mike Wallace, if it was Antonio Brown.
Ward.
Yeah, if it was Hines Ward, Juju Smith, you name it.
Lexico Burris.
Yeah, that's scrub too. Yeah, and like he has the moments. I think he was the most productive quarterback in Steelers history. Just the size that he at the position, his size and the position that he played, he did it really well. And you could say that he actually saved Mike Tomlin's career numerous of times, man. Ben Roethlisberger career as a starter has a winning record. That's the reason why Mike Tomlin has a winning record. And we seen Mike Tomlin's record without Ben Roethlisberger under 500. So yeah, I do have Big Ben in there though. I think he's the most successful, most productive, and he got the numbers to show for it. He got the championships to show for it also with the 2005 and 2008. I'm going with Big Ben.
Wow. Okay, so before I mention my guy, I think I would actually put 3 people for sure over all the guys that y'all mentioned, and that's no disrespect to Big Ben or Terry Bradshaw. Do y'all look at Big Ben as a what top 20 quarterback?
Yeah.
You think he's top 20 all time? Wow. What about you, C? Top 20?
I would have to sit down and think of 20 better than him. Yeah.
I think he's underrated.
He is underrated. Okay, so I'm gonna just throw out 3 names.
I think I could probably think of 20 better than him.
I got 3 names that stand out to me, and I'm gonna tell you which one I chose at the end. Troy Polamalu, arguably one of the greatest safeties ever. He rivaled Ed Reed as one of the greatest safeties during his time. Y'all a little too young, but C knows how. Huh? Okay, hold on. Rod Woodson, one of the greatest corner safeties ever.
I'm okay with that one though.
Okay, and last but not least, if we're going just off of position, I'm not talking about we're not talking about Mount Rushmore. I'm talking about the best player. I know it's not popular, but Antonio Brown is one of the best players of all time from Pittsburgh. You may not like him, but you can make a case that Antonio Brown is higher on the wide receiver list than Big Ben is on the quarterback list. For sure. For sure, Antonio Brown is higher than Big Ben is. Troy Polamalu is higher on the safety list than Big Ben is. And Rod Woodson for sure is higher than Big Ben is at the corner or safety position. So for me, those 3 for sure should be over Big Ben and Terry Bradshaw. Not even close. But if I had to give it to somebody, I'm going to give it to Rod Woodson because I grew up in that era watching Rod Woodson. I just think Rod Woodson, you can make a case that I remember when people used to say it's either him or Dion's is the best cornerback in the league. I'm going to go Rod Woodson, but I have no issue if somebody says Antonio Brown is the best Pittsburgh Steeler ever because Antonio Brown, you can make a case that he is for sure a top 10 wide receiver, if not closer to that 5 range, because Antonio Brown, nobody other than Jerry Rice had a span where he was by far the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I don't mind the Rod Woodson one, but the issue with Rod Woodson and Antonio Brown, they never won anything for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but they played different positions.
Yeah, but that's the exact point.
But that don't
Big Ben was the quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. but that don't mean you're the best player ever
But
from that franchise.
besides, okay, on that second ring Big Ben won, name the Hall of Famers.
The first one was that one with Hines Ward, or the second one?
Both were with Hines Ward,
Okay,
but
so
he's not even a Hall of
he's
Famer.
gonna make the Hall of Fame.
He should, but right now he's not.
Okay, so Hines Ward, Palomalu was on those teams, right?
He was.
Okay, so you got Troy, and Troy. I mean, dog. Like I said, you could make a case that he's one of the goats. I'm tripping.
That's it.
James Harrison was really good too. Like we ain't gonna do that.
He was
really good.
I don't think
I'm not saying he's all a fan, but he was really good.
Yeah.
They had some good players in them teams, bro.
I'm just saying, like when the chips were down, they need a game-winning drive. Big Ben was the guy.
I just don't think he's the greatest player in their history. I don't see it. I think he's borderline top 20. Like he's not better than Brett Favre. He's not better than Dan Marino. He's not better than Drew Brees. He's not better than Peyton Manning. He's not better than John Elway. There's so many guys he's not better than Steve Young. He's not better than those guys. So I don't view him like that. I'm not saying he don't have good numbers, but Big Ben is cool. Like he's underrated in a sense of he's better than Eli Manning for sure to me. But
I agree.
I don't see him as the greatest player. Like when I think about Pittsburgh, I don't think he's the greatest Pittsburgh Steelers player I've ever saw.
I do think though, if you go get off this show and do your top 20 quarterbacks, you're not going to find 20 better than Big Ben.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think he's
around that range. I think he's around that range. I think Antonio Brown, top 10 receiver. I think Troy Polamalu, top 10 safety. And I think that Rod Woodson, top 5 corner.
All right. Even though you're wrong, go to the next team.
That's okay. I mean, you don't even know Rod Woodson. What number was Rod Woodson?
26. How about that? Go ahead.
You.
Come on, man. I'm the sports junkie. Go ahead.
Hey.
Next team.
All right. Baltimore Ravens.
Look, the Ravens, people can say that when you think Ravens, you think Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
But for me, it's Ed Reed. Ed Reed to
Why
me.
not Joe Flacco? Based off what you're telling me.
He's not a top 20 quarterback all time. Nor did he win 2 rings.
Go ahead, you good. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. To me, it's actually Ed Reed. I understand that Ray Lewis was great and the hype was always around Ray Lewis and all that. I think Ed Reed is the best safety ever. I understand Ronnie Lott and all those other people. Bruh, Ed Reed was something else. I've never seen a safety play like that. You talk about during that time, it was him and Troy Polamalu. To me, Ed Reed was better.
I agree.
Polamalu was better against the run, but that's about it. Reed was better at everything else to me. He was so damn clutch. Like, you couldn't throw deep on the Ravens ever. Like, you could, run the ball a little bit on the Ravens, but you could not throw it on Ed Reed and company. I think Ed Reed's actually the best Raven. If we're talking pound for pound, best player at each position, this and that. But when you do think of Ravens, you think of Ray Lewis and the dance and all that. But to me, it's Ed Reed, actually.
All right. It's Ray Lewis, bro. It's Ray Lewis and everything that he brought to the team, to the city. I don't think, like I said, when I think of this, I think about who pops in your head when you think about that team. It's Ray Lewis. Ed Reed, I think he was very special as a safety. He was very special. He was very special for them. And but I don't think he was a more impactful player than Ray Lewis was for the Ravens. And I don't know if we're gonna tag this along this go round of players that could possibly overtake him as the face of that league. Are we gonna do that after this?
Yeah.
Well, I'll save the rest of my comments for that. But yeah, I got Ray Lewis.
Okay. Who you got?
I got Ray Lewis also. I think nobody has made more of an impact than Ray Lewis. I think Ed Reed, he deserves to be in the conversation. But if you're comparing between the two, I'm going with Ray Lewis, man. Ray Lewis was that guy. And when they were on the same team also, it was more about Ray Lewis, and he definitely had the impact, and people feared Ray Lewis as a linebacker, man, and he was one of the best. I'm going with Ray Lewis.
Hey, box office, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like I'm with you, 1,000% as far as who I like better. I will tell you that Ed Reed, by a hair, I like better, but it's Ray Lewis because Ray Lewis actually got a Super Bowl without Ed Reed against New York. Rod Woodson was the Rod Woodson had moved
Yeah.
on from Pittsburgh and went to Baltimore and played safety. That I edge it for him because he has 2 Super Bowls. It's super close. You can make a case that Ed Reed, and I'm with you. Best safety of all time is Ed Reed. That's why I think Troy Polamalu is being overlooked for the Pittsburgh Steelers because to be even in the conversation with Ed Reed is phenomenal to me. Even though I agree with you, Ed Reed for sure is the best safety. But you can make a case that Ray Lewis is the best middle linebacker in the history of the NFL. And you're talking about some dogs that play middle linebacker. And Ray Lewis, he got 2 Super Bowls, play after play. So, yeah, I'm going to go Ray Lewis, but I love me some Ed Reed. I'm with box office as far as just one of my first picks if I was starting a franchise. I love Ed Reed. But Ray Lewis is the pick.
Ray Lewis is who high school coaches show to their linebackers how to play the linebacker position.
Right. Okay, let's go to, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Icky motherfucking Woods.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Oh
to me, it's
God.
to me, it's Anthony Munoz. He's a Hall of Famer. It's clear as day. Some people consider him the best tackle ever, and if you do, that's completely fine. He was an 11-time All-Pro. I'm reading. He lived up to the hype, being 3rd overall pick. He went to those Super Bowls in the 80s. They just weren't that great, good enough to win it. I can't go Burrow. I can't go Chase or any of them. They have not been there long enough. Chad Johnson was good, but borderline Hall of Famer, not clear. We know they've never had a defense. So I'm going to go Anthony Munoz. Best resume as a Bengal.
Okay. I got 2 people that I have fighting for it, and probably neither one of y'all have either one of them. The first one being, when I think about the Bengals, Boomer Esiason, and led the Bengals to a Super Bowl. He was already they had already prepped him for the I'm going to Disney World commercial until John Taylor ruined all that for him. So he's one person I think about when I think about the Bengals, and the other one is Chad Johnson, aka Chad Ochocinco. I mean, he actually, when there was no reason to think about the Bengals, he gave you reasons to watch them. And his celebrations alone made you want to watch the Bengals highlights to see what he did. He to this day, he's the best wide receiver they've had statistically. Let's put it that way. And that was even they had to ask permission to use his number for T. Higgins when he got drafted. So I mean, he's a legend in Cincinnati. So when you think about those, the Bengals, those are the 2 players that automatically come to my mind outside of the guys that are there now.
So who you giving it to? You gotta give me one. You gotta give us one. Who's the greatest player in Cincinnati Bengals history?
Chad.
Okay.
I'll go Chad, yeah.
Bro, this is insane, bro.
The greatest player in Bengals history. The greatest player in Bengals history. He's actually still playing right now, man. And in my honest opinion, I really feel like Joe Burrow is the greatest player in Bengals
No shot.
history.
No
Yeah,
shot.
it is though, man. I,
No
I,
shot.
I just, I just don't see nothing with Anthony Munoz,
What do you mean you don't see
Boomer.
nothing?
I can't. It's hard.
11-time All Pro.
It's hard for me to judge a player when I haven't seen them play. You could say that with a lot. There was some players where I felt like, yeah,
that's a fair argument.
that
I
there
think
was
if you never seen him play.
just based off of what I seen. And the Bengals, they haven't been so great throughout the years, though, man. Like I seen, Chad Johnson. Was able to watch Chad Johnson, including in Oregon State, but what Joe Burrow, he brought the Bengals back to life, man. Like where the Bengals are relevant now, man.
They missed the
Um,
playoffs.
Come on,
yeah,
watch your mouth now.
they also reached the Super Bowl.
How
Also,
long ago? How long ago?
you make it seem like it's 10, 15 years that Joe Burrow has reached the Super Bowl.
Feels like it.
Joe Burrow is still an elite quarterback. Joe Burrow is still a
He
top
is.
quarterback. He's still a top quarterback in the NFL. And I still feel like the direction Joe Burrow's going right now, with especially with adding, giving Jamar Chase his money, T Higgins his money, it's gonna hard to stop this. It's gonna be hard to stop this offense, and there's no doubt in my mind that this team will end up reaching the Super Bowl once again, or even winning it. I think he's the greatest Bengal of all time. I can't make an argument for Munoz. I haven't seen him play. You could look at the game tapes. You could YouTube it all you want, but I can't do that, man. I'm going with Joe Burrow, greatest Bengal of all time.
I actually saw Anthony Munoz play. Hell of a tackle. Not no Joe Burrow.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I have no problem with Kiel saying if you think Boomer Esiason's the guy, because like you just said, Burrow got to the Super Bowl too. So what we doing here? But I'm with Yvonne on this. I think it's Anthony Munoz, the best player today of all time in their franchise history. Now I'm not sitting there saying if we're doing Mount Rushmore most impactful. No, I'm not saying that. But the best player in their history is Anthony Munoz. But I do think you're onto something with Joe Burrow moving forward. We'll talk about that in a second. Who's the greatest Brown ever? This is easy. Come on, man. What we doing?
Jim Brown. even though he played during the Cold War.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Even I think the Cold War was after his ass. But look, that's actually the last time the Browns won a championship. It wasn't even the Super Bowl. That's how long ago it was. Obviously, none of us watched Jim Brown, but the numbers speak for itself. And the Browns have been terrible ever since. They don't have a long list of great players, if I'm being honest. So this is actually an easy one.
Come on, man. Come on, man. It's Jim Brown. Jim Brown, even though he was about to be pressured by Ernie Davis. I know y'all probably don't know that name.
Syracuse.
Huh?
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm box office, man.
Come on. They made a movie about it.
They're both Syracuse, though.
Yeah. But anyway, he's clearly the best Brown ever. Followed closely by Vinny Testaverde.
No.
Who?
Myles Garrett's the second best ever. I love it.
Wow.
Myles Garrett's the second best Brown ever to me.
Wow.
To me.
Bro, Jim Brown and Vinny Testaverde.
I think it's Vinny Testaverde. Oh my God.
He damn near took him to the Super Bowl, bro.
Bro, come on, bro.
John Elway is the reason why he's not.
No, you're right. You're right about that. He's
probably not the best Brown ever.
No, I'm Jim Brown all day. This is not even. I think it's by far too.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not a history. It's not a franchise with a history of great players.
Yeah, but Jim Brown, I mean, even if Jim Brown was on another team, would just, I mean, he's one of the greatest backs of all time, bro. My uncles will say he's the greatest, even over Barry Sanders and Walter Payton.
When the one of the popular songs that came out when Jim Brown was playing was "Hound Dog" by Elvis Presley, and I never heard that song ever. But everybody knows about Elvis. But Jim Brown, yeah, he's one of those other players where I never seen him play, but I felt like his impact was there. He would always be talked about, like we mentioned in yesterday's show. When another great running back emerges, and you talk about he's going to be the next guy. You always hear Jim Brown names get mentioned up there, and I felt like Brown had that impact, even though there wasn't much.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I got you, P.O. I got you, big dog.
Oh, spin that on your next DJ gig, man. They're gonna go crazy on that.
I play the craziest stuff to get people to want to leave. So you might have one right there.
All right, man. But yeah, I'm going with Jim Brown, though, man.
All right, before we get up out of here, is there a player that's currently playing on any of these teams in the NFC or AFC North that can overthrow the guy that we mentioned today?
Okay, so Joe Burrow obviously can overthrow everything Anthony Munoz has done. Same thing with Jamar Chase. They can be the best at their positions in Bengals history, but I'm not here to crown them until they actually do it. They need to do it. They need to finish their careers off. So I'll go with them. Y'all go ahead with some other teams, and I'll think of more.
I'll definitely go with the same people you just said. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They can do it without even winning a Super Bowl because none of them other dudes won a Super Bowl. So
That's fair.
They can do that. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson can definitely overtake any of those guys that we picked. Shit, he's a two-time MVP right now.
He ain't passing Ray Lewis,
LJ.
Bro.
If he wins 2 Super Bowls,
I don't think he's done. You said if, I don't think it happens, bro.
I mean, he has a chance.
Maybe one, but I still don't think that's enough to pass Ray Lewis or Ed Reed.
I think maybe one would be enough.
No, I think he needs 2.
Yeah.
One and continue to put together seasons like he does.
Over Ray Lewis, though? See?
Shit, bro. I think he has a chance. I'm not saying
I think that the way I'm looking at it a little different than y'all, because I'm saying to myself, if I pick a player, they have to be like the best player at their position. And I just don't see some of the guys that you mentioned, or you guys mentioned, as the best player. Or even
he's not even the best running back on the team. Derrick Henry is, man.
He's not a running back.
He's so disrespectful. He's so disrespectful. I'll say this. I don't think that there's, and look, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think the Lions person's getting caught. I don't think there's nobody on the Lions that can catch Barry Sanders or even Megatron. I don't think nobody's catching Ray Lewis or Ed Reed. It'll be hard for somebody to catch Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre for me on the Packers list.
You don't think Jordan Love can do it?
I don't think he can do it. The Bears, I don't think nobody on the Bears' current roster can pass up Walter Payton. The Vikings is interesting because Jettas can get there, but he's going to have to win a Super Bowl. He's going to have to win a Super Bowl to pass up Randy Moss. So, I mean, some of these guys, they just play on teams that is just almost impossible. I don't think there's no Browns players going to pass Jim Brown either.
No.
No for the Lions. I see nobody on that team. No for the Bears. I don't see nobody. Still a young team to me. I think Justin Jefferson can, but he gotta go crazy, man. Even though he's the second best wide receiver in the league. And then no to No to anybody in Green Bay right now. I don't think nobody's right there. And then going to the AFC North, definitely a big no to the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore Ravens, I agree with C. I think if there's anybody, it is Lamar. And then who else was there? Pittsburgh Steelers, definitely a big no to
You don't think
anybody.
nobody can pass Big Ben?
Not on that team right now. No.
TJ Watt? You don't think he can, if he would win a Super Bowl, a couple of Super Bowls, more MVPs, defensive MVPs, he could get there? I'm not saying he
Nah,
will. I'm saying I don't know. I think TJ
nah.
Watt's not far
And
off.
then who's the other team that left out?
The Bengals. The Bengals can catch. The Bengals.
Bengals.
The Bengals are
Bengals.
going to
Obviously, it's
catch him.
Burrow, or Chase. Even though I got Burrow, but yeah, those are
Shit, T.
are
Higgins.
Come
well,
on,
no, not
man.
not all right. But that's what we have, man. Next week we are going to the good old NFC South and AFC South. We got
Oh, look at you.
with the Colts and the New Orleans Saints. Is
Both are
Drew
obvious.
is Drew Brees really the greatest? Because
Come
my
on,
Yeah,
my
he
man.
might
friend,
go skip
my
that.
friend, my friend,
They
my
never
friend,
had anything
my
else.
friend Duke, he's a huge Michael Thomas guy, man. But
He's
anyways,
not over Breeze.
uh, oh wait, Sean Payton. Oh,
He never played for them, fool.
Yeah, you
um.
just saying shit.
Anyways, man, let's get out of here and wrap the show up to our shout outs. Let's go.
Well, shout out to y'all boys, man. I appreciate you. I'm working on my list because I'm even looking at people that's playing right now. Box office. I'll give you that 20 that I think is better than Big Ben. There's no disrespect to Big Ben, but shout out to Big Ben. I
Yeah,
think
it's
I'm
disrespecting because
I
you're
think
looking
I
for
may
20
come close. I
people.
think I
What you
may come
mean?
close.
You won't find 20.
Yeah,
I beg to differ because I always say to myself, if
yeah,
I
he'll
switch
find a
you
way. He'll
out.
find a way. He's a hater, man.
Hey, Keel, ain't your name the certified hater? You trying to give me your name?
But I,
X
I I don't have no problem being a hater.
X finna say shit like, man, Tony Romo.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. We gonna skip by, but shout out to y'all boys, man. A little over our time, but nonetheless, it's definitely a pleasure. And go Pacers, baby. Indy. What the hell? What the hell, Bird?
what the hell is you thinking? All right, man. You know me, man. Last minute shout outs always go to my family, Hunter Morgan Tory, Krishna Lee, and Edward Daddy. Love y'all. I'll see you in just a second. And my beautiful wife, Patricia. I love you. I'll see you in just a second. And to Pep Pap's babies, Marcel, Carter, Brian, and Azaria, Grace, Brian, Pep Pap, love y'all. I'll see you in just a second, even if it's just on my screensaver. And Marcel, I'll see you in the morning. Pep Pap babysitting. The Pep Pap daycare starts again tomorrow, man. We're going to be working on our letters tomorrow. So, yeah. I'm raising a genius over here.
Okay.
All right. Well, game 1 Thursday, game 2 Sunday, game 3 Wednesday. So I'm not doing the show on next Wednesday. If that's the day y'all want to do it, because that's game 3. But I'm excited for the finals. I think OKC wins, but I'm rooting for Indiana. I'm rooting to be wrong, X. So we'll see.
There you go, box office.
But we'll see. I doubt it. Other than that, good show. I'll see y'all soon.
All right, man. This is episode 92 of the Nbs Show. Definitely shout out to all you guys. Oh God, Vaughn. And everybody that supports the platform. Shout out to the chat too. There's a 111 of you guys in here right now, so definitely appreciate it. Appreciate the lives and definitely everybody that shared the platform. But with that being said, man, this is the Nbs Show, episode 92. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Boot up or shut up.